What is going on, 49er faithful? Thank you for tuning into this Saturday night live edition of Keeping the Faith with JD. Sorry for those that are having to tune back in a second time. Technical difficulties the first time around. I was just getting done telling you all, hey, my bad for not going live in a while. And here I am talking for about 5 minutes with no audio. It threw me off. So I wanted to start over, start fresh, and get the ball rolling in the right way. Anyways, what's going on, 49ers fans? I hope everyone is enjoying their holiday weekend, their long 3-day holiday weekend. I know I am. It is the unofficial start to summer. I know summer doesn't technically start until June 21st, but everyone knows Memorial Day is the unofficial start to summer, and that tells you that football is right around the corner. It's so close you can almost smell it. I can't wait to be out at 49ers training camp come July and be back out at Levi Stadium before you know it. But here tonight, I wanted to do a live stream and talk to the faithful, talk to my fellow 49ers fans about their thoughts and their opinions, their evaluations of the 49ers offseason now that we have new information. Now that we know who has been extended, now that we know who has been drafted, now that we know the moves in their totality, basically, up until this point of the 49ers offseason, how do you feel about the way the team has handled things? I know when free agency started, most Niner fans were freaking out, wondering what's going on. Why are we not signing anyone? Why is everyone walking out of the door down at 49-49? What are the 49ers doing? But now that we've had the draft and they filled some holes, and we saw what they did by re-signing their own in tight end George Kittle, quarterback Brock Purdy, and linebacker Fred Warner, I want to know from you guys, how do you feel now, given the benefit of new information? How do you feel now about the 49ers offseason? Do you feel positive about it? Are you optimistic? Are you still on the negative side? Are you hesitant to buy in? I want to know your thoughts, and I will open up the phones in a short minute. Don't call yet, but in a minute you will be given the option to call. I will let you know. The phone number is down below in the ticker as well as the description box. And again, let me make sure that you guys can hear me. Let me know in the chat. Let me say what's up to everybody in the chat as we get the ball rolling here. You guys now know how I like to do it. Let's see who we have in the chat. I see Half Dead in the chat. I see my guy Rocco in the chat. What's going on, Rocco? I see Austin in the chat. What's up, man? Appreciate all you for tuning in. Hope everyone, again, is having a great 3-day holiday weekend. What a week for the 49ers, am I right? I mean, we had the Brock Purdy deal and the Fred Warner deal, and things are just kind of, getting crazy down there in Santa Clara, but in a good way. After a lackluster offseason in terms of acquisitions and whatnot, the 49ers selling 6% ownership stake to 3 different families as of late at an evaluation of, I believe, was $8.5 or $9 billion. So the 49ers got about a little over $500 million in cash. And as soon as you saw that transaction go through, Jed York wasted no time signing Brock Purdy and Fred Warner. And I don't think it was a coincidence. If anyone's paying attention, I would say that that's not a coincidence at all. And given, the Niners have just shelled out a ton of guaranteed money to their core guys, the pillars of their football team, and their quarterback, their all-world tight end, their future Hall of Fame tight end, and their future Hall of Fame middle linebacker and backbone of the defense. I wanted to give my thoughts on where I think the 49ers are right now. If I think that this offseason has been a success or a failure, how I feel about it here as we sit in 2025. Look, everyone knows the team was going to sign Brock Purdy this offseason. That's not a surprise. Everyone knows the team was going to sign George Kittle this offseason. It's not a surprise. And there was tons of talk, tons of speculation that they would look to extend Fred Warner, even though he had 2 years remaining on his deal, given the fact that his cap hits were astronomical this year and in 2026. So the moves that the 49ers made there were not surprising, at least not to me. And those moves, uh, like I said, they didn't catch me off guard. Those were moves the 49ers were going to make regardless. And those moves have more of a long term view, in my opinion. They were going to be on this team in 2025 no matter what. We knew those signings were coming, right? So, do I really think that they impact 2025 in a drastic way? Maybe from like a morale, an emotional standpoint, getting the deals done, no distractions sort of thing. Yeah, they were great for 2025, but they were more designed for the long term. The salary cap over the next several years, having some stability in certain spots over the next several seasons. But as far as 2025 goes, I mean, they were going to be on this team. Let's be real. I think we can all agree there. Um, so as far as 2025 goes, I still believe that the 49ers, have left much to be desired this offseason. And I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I'm still very optimistic for this season, especially given the fact they brought back Robert Saleh. They have the easiest schedule in football by far. I fully expect them to make the postseason. If they don't, I feel like something is wrong down at 49-49. But I feel like all these moves this offseason had more of a long-term approach as opposed to 2025. And let's be real, we're going into the 2025 season. Everyone's worried about how this team is going to do in 2025. So I'm not the biggest fan of relying on the amount of young players and rookies that this team is going to have to rely on. And I think we can all agree that Kyle Shanahan is not very fond of the idea of depending on a ton of rookies and inexperienced players. We all know Kyle Shanahan's track record and how he loves veteran players. But, I wish that they still would have done more in free agency. I mean, as we sit right now, the 49ers have the third most cap space in the NFL. Still, what is today? May the 24th, 2025. The 49ers still have the third most cap space available to them in the entire National Football League. And it seems like they're just kind of sitting on their hands, wanting to roll that money over, maybe extend, a couple other of their own before they go out and spend in free agency. And I understand that this team needed to get younger, and I do believe that there is an element of addition by subtraction by trimming some of the fat off this roster, which they did, and I am happy that they did that. But I don't feel like they did enough to replace some of those guys. Don't get me wrong. I like what they did on the defensive line. I like CJ West. I like Alfred Collins. I like Mykel Williams. But having three rookies on your defensive line opposite Nick Bosa, in my opinion, I feel like they're one defensive tackle injury away from, panic mode. And so I would like to see this team go and get another veteran defensive tackle. And who knows, maybe they will, especially after June 1st. Cuts coming up here in a few days. Maybe they will. Maybe that's what they're waiting for, is the June 1st designations. And maybe they'll go make a move and bring in some veterans that won't count against, their compensatory formula now that the draft is over and whatnot. But there's still some holes on this roster. I mean, what is this team going to do in the event that Malik Mustafa is out for an extended period of time? Are we going to really rely on guys like Jason Pinnock or Richie Grant opposite Jair Brown week one up in Seattle? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. There's still some holes. I mean, even at linebacker, is it going to be D. Winters? Is it going to be Nick Martin? Who's going to play opposite Fred Warner? That is still a very, very sensitive subject and key storyline for this team heading into training camp. I mean, on the offensive line, left guard, is Ben Bartch just penciled in at left guard? Is that what we're doing? I mean, I like Ben Bartch as a player, but is the team even going to try to upgrade at that position? I feel like this team is everything that they've done this offseason is all about 2026 and beyond. And I'm a 49er fan sitting right here in 2025. I'm a season ticket holder who's going to be going to all the games. And if you guys caught my recent videos, I'm a 49er fan who's going to be going up to Seattle week one and, sitting in the belly of the beast in the Hawk's Nest up in Seattle and wanting to see my team go up there to Lumen Field, also known as Levi's North, and get a W. And I want to see this team do their best to make that happen. And I don't know if all the moves that they've done this offseason have 2025 in mind. But that's just my opinion. I feel like this team is one defensive tackle injury away from hitting the panic button. Like I mentioned, I feel like the presence or lack thereof of Malik Mustafa is going to loom large on this season early on. What are they going to do at safety? At cornerback, what necessarily are they going to do? Is it going to be Trey Brown? Is it going to be Upton Stout who starts alongside Renaro Green and Diamador Lenore? When they go to their nickel package. I mean, how is this team going to look? I feel like there's a lot of questions still to be answered, and I know training camp and preseason is going to help alleviate some of those concerns. But again, I feel like everything this team has done this offseason is all about 2026 and beyond. Long term, I love what the team has done this offseason. Moving ahead, I see the vision. I appreciate the vision. I love what they're doing long term. I have no qualms about that whatsoever. But in 2025, the 49ers have to play football games. And I want to see this team win, especially given the fact that they have the easiest schedule in recent memory. And the Super Bowl is also in your house at Levi Stadium. It would be nice to see your team possibly maybe compete, and going into a season with the amount of questions that I still have, and I haven't even touched on my concerns with Brock Purdy, and I'm not talking about the contract because we all know now the Brock Purdy deal is essentially a 3-year, $115 million deal that the Niners can get out of after 2026 if they so choose. And the Niners did a beautiful job constructing that deal, very team friendly, and it also gave Brock a ton of security and things that he was looking for. Bravo there, but I have concerns about Brock Purdy himself. Is he going to be able to stay healthy? 2 out of his 3 seasons, he has not been able to finish the year. I have concerns about Brock Purdy, and so I want to see this team do some things to make me feel better about 2025. They've done a great job at making me feel better about 2026 and beyond. But how are we feeling about 2025? That's what I want to know from the faithful tonight. Again, I appreciate you all for tuning in and bearing with me or dealing with me as I dealt with those technical difficulties the first time I went live. Let's see who we got in the chat, and then maybe we'll go out to the phones here in a moment. Let's see who we got in the chat. I see Pat's Time in the chat. He says, what's up to my favorite loyal Seahawks fan. Funny guy. Half Dead, CG Ruthless in the building, Mr. Laid Back. I see Austin, Rocco. All right, awesome. Appreciate all you guys for tuning in. And real quick, before we go to the phones, you know what? I meant to say this earlier, but it always skips my mind, and I need to do a better job about mentioning this. If you guys want extra content, bonus content, you want to help support the channel, you want different ways to interact with me, and you want monthly giveaways, check out our Patreon. The link is down below in the description and the ticker. It's patreon.com/keepingthefaith. Tons of bonus content over there, different ways to interact. If you become a Patreon member, we will be doing a fantasy football league this year with a free cash prize to the winner. All you have to do is sign up over on patreon.com/keepingthefaith, and we do monthly giveaways over there. As a matter of fact, today I just posted my second monthly giveaway video, and the way I do that is I put everyone's name into a hat that is a Patreon member. I randomly draw a name, and that person wins the monthly prize. And this month's prize was a Candlestick Park, farewell season patch. So my guy David Culper won the prize this month over on Patreon. And last month, my guy Fly Esai won one of these awesome Keeping the Faith snapback trucker hats as our very first monthly giveaway winner. And so if you guys are interested in monthly giveaways and a ton of other perks and tons of different ways to interact with me, again, check out patreon.com/keepingthefaith. We have 2 different membership tiers over there, and I appreciate anyone that checks it out. And if you elect to sign up, you're awesome. Thank you so much. I'm trying to grow that, so if you guys don't mind, please check out the Patreon. With that said, I see Niner Nation in the chat. He says, "What's my record prediction?" I haven't done a video on that yet. But I'll let you guys know. Just based on what I've seen this team do this offseason, the positive momentum that they are building, given the fact that they got these contracts done early as opposed to letting them linger into training camp in the preseason, and the fact that the 49ers have, again, a very easy schedule. I would be disappointed, extremely disappointed, if this team won fewer than 10 games. But my concrete, set it in stone, overall record prediction, I think this team is going to go 11-6. I think 11-6 is in the cards. The NFC West is going to be a dogfight. The Rams are a very talented team who got better. The Cardinals are a much improved ball club. And the Seahawks, they're always pesky. They're always going to be around. And, I think the NFC West is going to be an absolute drag out fight. And I think there are some games on the schedule that the Niners could potentially lose. I'm higher on some teams like Atlanta and Chicago than other people. I'm not saying the Niners will lose those games, but I'm saying that not all those games are gimmies. And I think 11-6 is a very realistic bet for this team. If they do better, would I be surprised? No. But I think 11-6 is realistic given the fact that this team is going to be very young in certain spots going into the season. And also, the Niners under Kyle Shanahan historically have done a great job of losing some games they have no business losing. So there's going to be at least one head-scratching WTF game this year where they lose to a team that they have absolutely zero business losing to. You can take it to the bank. You can go to Vegas and bet on it. The Niners will lose one game this year that you're going to go, what the hell was that? It's going to happen. And I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. So I think 11-6, all things considered, is very realistic. And, if things go absolutely perfect, 12-5. If this team is very healthy throughout the course of the season, if Brandon Ayuk is able to return at a decent rate and contribute, if Malik Mustafa is not out for very long, if Christian McCaffrey regains form, if Trent Williams doesn't miss a ton of games, if George Kittle stays healthy, you're catching my drift here. A ton of ifs. There are a ton of ifs and uncertainty going into this year. If Brock Purdy can play every game, I think this team has the potential of doing some great things. At the end of the day, I think 11-6 is a pretty safe bet, in my opinion. I see Fly Esai in the chat. He's shouting out the Patreon. Let me read what Fly Esai said here. Much appreciated, my man. He says, "Faithful, if you really want to get the biggest bang for your buck when it comes to news, updates, and just talking Niner football, please join the Patreon. There's giveaways, exclusive content, and more." I didn't say it. Fly Esai said it. He's a Patreon member. He won the raffle, our very first giveaway last month. Shout out David Culper as well, who won today's giveaway, monthly giveaway raffle, and won the Candlestick Park patch, as I mentioned. If you guys want to check out the Patreon, go ahead. Much appreciated, Fly. Thank you for shouting that out. Let's see. I see you guys are doing a ton of your own conversation here in the chat. CG, let me read a few comments from the chat, and then we will go ahead and open up the phones because I want to talk to the faithful tonight, and I want to get your thoughts on this 49ers offseason and how you feel about how things are going, given the fact that we have a ton of new information, and here we are going into the month of June. So CG Ruthless says, is Jauan Jennings getting a contract extension? You've seen a lot of different people talking about that as of late. We haven't heard anything. About it. And with the all the money that this team has doled out, and the fact that this team is still, very young at wide receiver, and there's guys there that they want to develop, such as Ricky Pearsall, and they have Jacob Cowing, Jordan Watkins. They're going to be bringing back Brandon Ayuk, who is under contract for a massive number. I don't know if Jauan Jennings is in the long-term plans. I think in the perfect world, would they love to re-sign Jauan Jennings? Absolutely. He's an integral part of the run game in terms of how he blocks. He's tough as nails. He's great for the culture. He's gritty. He's everything that Kyle Shanahan likes in his type of receiver, a guy that can block and do the dirty work, right? But I think Juwan Jennings is potentially going to price himself out. And I think he's going to want to explore free agency and go and cash in. And I don't begrudge Juwan Jennings for that. I think there's a very good possibility that Juwan Jennings will play elsewhere after 2025. But that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong and they sign him to an extension tomorrow. Who knows? But as it stands right now, I think this is going to be Juwan Jennings' last season with the San Francisco 49ers. What's up, Riken? I see you in the chat. I don't think I've seen your name before. Appreciate you for tuning in. Fly Esai says Jennings deserves to get paid. He does, but deserves to get paid by who? Whether he gets paid by the Niners or someone else, he does deserve to get paid. And we all know he's going to do what's best for him when the time comes. So if the Niners aren't willing to pony up, I think Juwan Jennings is going to bet on himself, have another great season, and go cash in free agency. That's what I see happening, potentially. CG Ruthless says, he's talking about the draft. We're not hitting on that at the moment. Okay. All right. So, Niners, okay. You guys are typing too much, man. I appreciate it, man. You guys are killing it right now in the live chat. Shout out to everybody for tuning in. So, let me go ahead and open up the phone lines. You guys can see the faithful phone line call-in number down below. I'm going to go ahead and open up that phone line here in a moment once I can find the damn bookmark. And you guys have the number. It's 415-498-0946. Go ahead and call in. I want to hear from all of you here tonight. What is your thoughts on the 49ers offseason now that they've extended Brock Purdy, George Kittle, Fred Warner, and we're very, very close to mandatory minicamp. We're very close to OTAs and training camp, and football's right around the corner, guys. I would say, for all intents and purposes, the Niners have made the majority of their big moves. I don't foresee them doing anything crazy between now and camp, but I could be wrong. How do you feel about the 49ers as it stands right now? How would you grade their offseason? A, B, C, D, F? Me, I give them a B+. They took care of the players that they were always going to take care of with Brock Purdy, George Kittle, Fred Warner. But I do give them a ton of credit for getting the contracts done when they did. That was not very 49ers of them. They are learning from their mistakes. I mentioned it in my videos as of late. Bravo, Parag Marate, Jed York, John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan for doing what's best for the team and not letting those contract negotiations linger and loom over the start of the season. Good job. But they were always going to sign those guys, at least in my opinion. So I give them a solid B+. I like that they restocked the defensive line with young talent. But again, there's still some holes. And if we're talking about just 2025, there has to be concern from the 49er fans about 2025. Long term, I love what they're doing. But 2025, we'll see. All right, we got a phone call. And we go out to the 602 area code. Caller, you are on the air with JD. Who's this and where are you calling from? Oh, he hung up. Caller, call back. 602 area code. Call back. For some reason, the ringer was not on. So let's try that again. I see a few of you are trying to get through. I see the 209, the 559, the 602 are trying to call in. Call back. We'll get you on the air right now. 415-498-0946 is your faithful phone line. Call-in number. Here we go. There we go. All right, caller, you are on the air with JD on Keeping the Faith. What's your name and where are you calling from? What is going on? Hold on, guys. There's an issue here. In your browser settings, allow voice to access your microphone. What are we doing here? Sorry, guys. Bear with me. Technical difficulties yet again. I didn't change anything, but it wants to change it for me. So I don't know. Another caller, call in. Let's see if we can get it going. The ringer worked, so I should have been able to hear the person on the other end, but for some reason, I couldn't hear anybody, and then they hung up. I haven't been live for a while, and this is the thanks I get. This is saying, hey JD, start going live more often. Stop leaving everybody hanging. This is your payback. You get to look awkward and dumb while you're live talking to a bunch of people about the 49ers, and you're supposed to know what you're doing. You're the YouTuber. You're supposed to know what you're doing. All right, caller, you are on the air with JD. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Chris, man. This is CG. What's up, man?
CG,
559.
what's up, man? So, how are you feeling about this 49ers offseason, given the latest news and everything that we know up until this point?
It's been pretty quiet, man. No drama. Can't complain about it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we could have addressed. Maybe some quality depth at the offensive line would have been nice. But other than that, is there a lot to complain about? I think we fortified the defensive line a lot better than usual. Secondary could be a little bit of a question mark as far as depth piece.
But what about long term? Not long term. I don't think we have concerns. Long term, we see the vision. This team is rebuilding the defensive line. They're drafting guys to fill in at linebacker. They've drafted young secondary players. We see the vision long term. But as far as 2025 goes, are you confident in the 49ers in 2025 based on what they've done this offseason?
I'm confident that we can win 13 games this year. As long as we can stay healthy, as long as things go our way. If this draft class hits pretty well, I can see us maybe being the number one seed if it goes that way. I mean, you just got to get the draft hitting right. If Mikael Williams has some type of Alden Smith impact, and if Alfred Collins and Nick Martin end up being studs, and those other players that contribute, dude, then I think this can be a recipe for success. It's just, how the draft is, man. Not everything's a sure thing, so you got to make sure they all hit right. So I think the way we address in the off season, I definitely give it a B minus. We did pretty well. Did we miss on some players? But like you said, the vision is great, bro. Long term, it's going to be good.
How do you feel about the Brock Purdy deal now that we've seen the numbers and we know that it's actually a team-friendly deal and the 49ers knocked it out of the park?
I think it's it's going to go down as a bargain, dude, because in a couple years, it's going to be one of those contracts that people look back and say, damn, I guess they didn't have to overpay just like the Cowboys did,
I mean, yeah, you could be paying $60 million per year to Dak Prescott to make the wild card game and lose, or not make the playoffs at all. So it could be worse.
Yeah,
that absolutely could be worse.
Yeah, it's a bargain. It's a team-friendly deal, and plus his contract could be manageable because if he wants to take a pay cut, which he has that option to do so, he can do that just to keep a team around. And what I really like about the press conference of what Brock Purdy did say was he's here to win games. He is here whatever way it takes, man. He just wants to be here. That's what I like about the attitude.
Yep, absolutely, man. Well, hey, I appreciate you calling in, man. I have a ton of other people trying to get through, so let me let you go. But shout out your channel and tell people where they can find you, because I know you're doing your thing here on YouTube too.
Oh, yeah. CG Ruthless, man. Go check me out. Check out some of my interviews with these college prospects. I'm going to have a 49ers round check maybe in a couple of weeks where I'll have 3 co-hosts to talk some Niners football. But, hey, man, keep doing what you're doing, my guy.
Awesome. Appreciate you, CG, man. Have a great weekend.
Oh, you too, man.
All right. Shout out CG Ruthless. I see people in the chat trying to make jokes about the call-in number. The call-in number's fine. The call-in number goes straight to, where it's supposed to. So you guys are funny. You guys are funny. So the phone line's now open. Oh, not anymore. I spoke too soon. All right, we go out to the 602 caller. You're on the air with JD. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, what's going on? My name is Dion. I'm calling from Phoenix, Arizona. Originally from Los Angeles, California. Diehard Niner fan. I got my own podcast too, Niner Gang Podcast. But yeah, man, nice to meet you.
What's going on, Dion, man? I thought I recognized your voice when you started talking. How are you feeling about this 49ers offseason, man? Given everything that we know now, how do you view this? Do you think it's a positive, negative? Are you concerned about 2025, or do you think the sky's the limit?
For me, I am concerned about 2025, and the reason being is because once again we decided to not address the O line and act like we could care less about it. But that's Kyle Shanahan and Chris Forrester. They've been that way since they got here. They figure you just put a ragtag bunch of dudes together and see what happens. You give a little credit to Colt McKivitz. He did progress just a little bit. But the only true starters we have are Dominic Cooney and Trent Williams. We have no left guard. Technically speaking, that's just going to be a battle. I think Ben Barch wins that battle. And I do hope that they actually do give Hennessy the opportunity to compete with Brendel at center. Happy that we brought in a kicker to, get Jake Moody out of whatever mood he's in because he drives me insane. It's like, you ever seen Step Brothers where he told him, he's like, you have a very punchable face. That's how I feel about Moody. I don't know why. He just has a punchable face. But I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I do appreciate the draft. Draft did go very well. My favorite person to draft is our last pick, Burgeon. I think he's going to do wonders for us in our return game, which has been non-existent for years. But I mean, like when you take a look at the receiving situation, we don't know when BA will be back. Didn't necessarily like that they lied to us about Malik Mustafa not telling us, to do towards ACL. Now we got to wonder who else is going to be opposite Jair Brown. You know what I mean? I know they drafted Marquise Siegel and stuff like that, but it's for me, the trepidation is just making sure that the O-line is solid enough to protect Purdy now that we didn't gave him all this money. And
let me bounce something off you when it comes to that offensive line, because you brought up some good points there with the line. There's two schools of thought when it comes to the 49ers and how they handle their offensive line. That first school of thought is the entire time they've been here, they haven't prioritized it. They've kind of piecemealed it together, and they've still been successful. Kyle Shanahan has still been able to put up very productive offenses with lackluster offensive lines. And so, is it necessarily a bad thing that they didn't look to spend there this offseason? That's one school of thought. And then on the other hand, like you just mentioned, they just invested a ton of money in their franchise quarterback. You would think that they would want to protect him. So where do you land on that argument?
I mean, for me, that just I have to lean toward. I'm not really sure how much they care, because when you pay your quarterback a ridiculous amount of money, you need to be able to put a line in front of them to allow them to flourish and do what they're supposed to do. Like if you give Purdy time in the pocket, he can pick any defense apart. Everybody made a big stink about him going that, saying that he was a top 10 quarterback. Like, you want your quarterback to have confidence, so why wouldn't you want them to say yes? Now, if they're just hot garbage and they know they are, obviously you want them to have a little humility. But Brock Purdy has done more than half of these QBs in the league, and people won't give him credit. They just refuse to. Oh, well, if he doesn't have the stars around him, he doesn't, he's not the same guy. No one would be. It is very rare that you are going to find a quarterback that will make something out of nothing with nobody named receivers. Brock Purdy is able to do what he can with the guys that he has. But, yes, it is appreciated when you have your true weapons around you, because that's why the defense is. You got to think about it. We got to contend with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. And as many people that think Devontae Adams has lost a step, let me tell you something, he has not. And that is a swift kick in the you-know-what for our defense, because Puka Nacua came on really strong as a rookie last year. That Tungan was out there laying the wood paws to anybody. Devontae Adams is happy that he now got Matthew Stafford, a real, actual quarterback, and he's not stuck in Oakland, dealing with the trash that was there. He doesn't have to deal with Aaron Rodgers and his sometiminess. It's just different things. So, for me, I honestly say if Kyle can get us to the playoffs, that's a miracle. Because we got a lot of things to do with this team. We got a lot of ways to gel. Our defensive line has to gel. We don't know that these dudes are going to be able to understand each other right off the bat and be perfect and be good enough. So we have to have a little, cautious optimism. But I do think, possibly 9-8, maybe 10-7. But I wouldn't give us more than that. I know we have a very soft schedule. We only have like one or two people that even went to the playoffs that we faced. But at the same time, it's still understanding that there are new people. They have to learn the system. They have to be able to understand it. I hope he honestly gives Jacob Cowing a chance because Cowing could be dynamic. I think Cowing could take right over the Debo role immediately. I think he has the skills and the talent to do so. So we'll see what happens. But honestly, if he gets into the playoffs, it'd be great. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got a bomb to drop. I honestly think
drop it, man. Let me
if
hear it. What you got?
if Kyle Shanahan winds up with bad season this year, going into next year, he'll finally officially be on the hot seat. And I will tell you this, Robert Saleh will wind up the 49ers' next head coach because Jed York is already familiar with him. Kyle Shanahan finds a way to fail and he does not make this work, he will be out of here. And Saleh will take that head coaching job.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
just
Kyle Shanahan doesn't have any more scapegoats. He doesn't have any more guys that he can
nope,
fire and blame. And
nope.
so you have to take care of business. You just paid your franchise quarterback. You have hitched your wagon to Brock Purdy, who has not finished 2 of his 3 seasons as a starter. And you don't invest in the offensive line. And so you are now depending on a patchwork offensive line to protect a guy who is smaller in stature, susceptible to injury, and already has concerns about the long-term viability of that elbow. So, yeah, Kyle Shanahan's got his work cut out for him. That's for sure.
Yeah. But hey,
All
man,
right,
I appreciate you having me on. I know you got to get to other people. You know what I'm saying? We'll get up. We can definitely do a show together.
let's do it, man. Shout out your channel one more time. Let people know where they can find you.
Yeah, Snyder Gang Podcast on YouTube. Just the number 9 NERGANG podcast. You'll see me in the chat.
Perfect. Appreciate you, Dion, man. Have a good weekend.
All right. You too, bro. Please.
Shout out Dion with Niner Gang Podcast for calling in. Now's your chance to call in. Strong call by Dion there. Solid takes. He hit all over the board. That was a good phone call from Dion with the Niner Gang Podcast. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, man. The chat is going good. We got some good numbers. Hope everyone is enjoying their Saturday night, Memorial Day weekend. What's everybody got going on, man? Is everyone going to be barbecuing this weekend? What's the move? What's the plan? All right. Got another phone call. And this time we go out to the 951. Caller, you're on the air with JD. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up, JD? Good to talk to you again. It's your boy Courtney.
What's going on, man? Long time no talk, my friend. How are you doing this Memorial Day weekend?
Good, and also a happy Memorial Day weekend to you. And I gotta tell you right now, this off season, man. I mean, I thought it was gonna be pretty much of a disappointment, but from the looks of the things that our team has done lately, I'm loving it. I'm loving the direction where we're headed right now. I really am.
I like what they're doing, but like I mentioned, I feel better about this offseason in terms of a long-term outlook. This offseason is all about long-term. As far as 2025 goes, I think there's still a ton of questions, and I think that there's still a lot of work to do. We cannot go into this season thinking that this is going to be the same 49er team that we've seen in the past, because it's not. And so I want to see this team go out post June 1st, when the teams can cut guys with little to no cap issues, and I want to see them make a move or two, bring in some veterans in a couple of spots, improve this roster, and I'm hoping, my fingers are crossed, that they're going to do that.
Right, and also here's another thing about that too, JD. This is another thing that I told my other buddies too, and also a couple of friends of mine who I hate to say this are Rams fans, but they always give me a hard time saying, you guys are only just rebuilding right now. Like, dude, guys, look, pump the brakes, all right? So look, I love what we did in the draft. I love that we resigned Kittle and Brock Purdy and Warner. I know we're going to do all that, but this is me. This is what I want to share with you and all the other 49er fan faithful that's listening right now, or even online or wherever the case may be. Guys, look, we have to trust the process. Now, I don't know what our record's going to be this year. I'm not going to predict that, but I know that, of course, I always have faith, like faithful. We got to trust the process. Look, I love the way how we fixed up our defensive line, but of course, overall in our offseason, I give it maybe an A minus, because the reason why I give it an A minus is that one thing we need to fix was our our offensive line. We could have done a little better, but I trust what Kyle Shanahan and Jed York is doing. But take a look what of course the Rams are doing. They trusted their process, and look how they're doing. They almost beat the Eagles in the NFC Championship game last year. Take a look what the Eagles are doing. I mean, they trust in their process, but but also it could happen to us with our team right now. 2025, I believe that these rookies will come together. I mean, I'm not saying that they're going to be spectacular, but I'm saying that they're going to do big things for us this year, and also pretty much in the years to come. And also here's another question I got though. I mean, even though, like, let's say for example, like Alfred Collins or Mikael Williams and Nick Martin all have like big strong years going forward. Hopefully it doesn't come at a cost, but hopefully when it comes to during that time at the end of their rookie contracts, if they're dominant, they have dominant years, can we extend them long term?
You know, I think we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. These guys haven't even played a snap of football. So as far as talking about contract extensions for guys that haven't even taken a snap in practice yet, we can wait for that. But I want to ask you this, Courtney, and you've made some good points about the Rams and the way they rebuilt, and the Eagles, the way they rebuilt and where they are now. But let me ask you about 2025 specifically, given what we know, who is on this team, and the schedule that they have in front of them. If the 49ers don't make the playoffs, are you going to be disappointed, or are you patient and you know that good things are coming in the future, so you're all right with maybe a little step back in 2025?
Yeah, well, you know, that's a good question. I get that question a lot. You're not the only one that told me that, but I'm going to give my honest opinion. I'm not a faithful all the way. But if we don't make the playoffs, it will be a disappointment, but I can understand because I still trust the process going forward. I mean, look, I mean, yes, I would love for us to go to the playoffs this year. I'm still hopeful that we can make the playoffs, you know, but I just hope and pray that everyone stays healthy and all. But I'm not saying the Super Bowl. I'm not going to get to that point right now because I don't know if we're up to that point just yet. But I'm just saying, like, if we miss the playoffs, I mean, it'll be a disappointment. But I'm happy where our team is going in the right direction, and I do believe that of course, like, in the following year, 2026, it'll be a whole lot better for us. But like I said, 2025 will be the tall to tell for this rookie class, and of course, with the combination of last year's draft class. I still believe that good things are coming for us going forward.
Absolutely, Courtney. Hey, strong phone call, man. I appreciate it. Don't be a stranger. You know, every time we're live, feel free to call, man. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. And you got any final thoughts before I take some other calls?
I'll just, like I said, I'll go ahead and let everyone else call in and with their opinions. But like I said, guys, I mean, I love this offseason we're doing. I'm excited about this season. Can't wait. Football's just around the corner. Hope to talk to you again soon whenever you're coming back online with more opinions about our team. I mean, I'm just so excited right now. Let's go Niners. Let's go, guys. Let's do this. Come on, faithful. Niners all the way. Let's go.
I like it, Courtney, man. Hey, have a great weekend. Thank you for calling.
All right. Happy Memorial Day, man. Peace.
Alrighty. Shout out Courtney. Good call. We're getting some good phone calls tonight. And now it is your chance. The faithful phone line is clear. It's open. 415-498-0946 is your faithful phone line call-in number. How do you feel about this 49ers offseason? If you had to give it a letter grade based on everything we know now, based on the fact that you got your franchise quarterback signed, you've kept George Kittle in the fold, and Fred Warner's not going anywhere, how do you feel about this 49ers offseason? Early on, like I said, everyone was panicking, including myself. But now that we see the vision, I'm happy with it. As far as 2025 goes, that's a different animal. A lot of questions. But long term, they're cooking. The Niners are cooking long term. And we go back to the phones and we go out to the 209. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
JD, it's Eastside. How's it going, man?
What's up, Isai? How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing all right, man. Just hanging on, hanging out on this 3-day weekend, enjoying time with the family, resting up. It's been hot out, so I've been really, really busy with work. So yeah, just taking it easy.
Absolutely. Well, hey, appreciate you calling in, man. So you tell me, how do you feel about this Niners offseason now that we know kind of, where the money's been spent and why, and things are kind of heating up as we head into the summer?
So this season, it could go two ways, right? We're an 8-9 team looking forward to next year, or I think we're a 14-2 team back in the NFC Championship. I like that we still have our core. We've seen Purdy run the system successfully. We were a missed field goal away from winning the Super Bowl with him. So I do think we got our guy Purdy. It's just the defense, man. This defense compared to defenses of past is really weak. They're Swiss cheese. The offensive line, I think Shanahan is brilliant. I trust Shanahan. I don't think any other guy could run the Niners the way Shanahan has. It's just the defense has so many holes. I don't think we have real talent at defensive tackle. I know they got Alfred Collins, and CJ West, which can pan out. And I'm not saying that they're busts right now, but would have liked to see them either trade back in the first and grab a bigger name guy. Derek Harmon, someone like that. Someone with more of an upside. But we'll see.
Well, let me ask you this, because I don't disagree with you that there are questions on the defensive side of the ball, but don't you think that's why they brought back Robert Saleh? Don't you think Robert Saleh is going to be able to maybe mask some of those deficiencies and kind of make this defense a little bit better than it may look on paper?
Yeah. We've had success with Saleh, in the past, and I like Saleh. He's one hell of a defensive coach, and I think having him with less of a role, just focusing just on defense than what he had in New York. It'll definitely help mask some holes, but we're depending on rookies, man. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we're depending on rookies. There is a hump, in mid-season where they're not used to pushing around grown men.
That rookie wall.
That rookie wall, and it all depends on that, man. If we really got some dogs, we'll for sure be back in the playoffs for sure. But
that's
on
why
pen
I
and
want to
paper,
see I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish.
On pen and paper, what we did this year definitely moved the needle in in the right direction, but I don't think it moved it enough to to like match up what the Rams did this offseason. And that they're the king of the West right now. I mean, I hate to say it, but they won the West last year. We got to be better than them.
Yeah.
They went out. They spent money on Devontae Adams. They got a run game. Blake Corum, that other Kyron Williams. Their defense is they got a pretty solid defense. Their safeties are good. I mean, we almost had them last year, but we just couldn't pull it together. Too many injuries. I mean, like I said, it could go two ways, depending on rookies. I really hope we end up making the playoffs. Even as a wild card team, I think in the playoffs, nobody would want to see us in the playoffs for sure. I mean, we look what we did in Green Bay with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
So.
So it sounds like to me you have a lot of the same concerns that I do, given the fact that this defensive line is full of rookies. And like I said earlier in the stream, I feel like they're one defensive tackle injury away from panic mode. And that's why I think this June 1st deadline here, this June 1st date is so important, because you're going to see teams cut guys. You're going to see guys maybe potentially get traded. And I want to see the 49ers, who have the third most remaining cap space in the entire National Football League, go out and spend a little bit of that money. And I mean, hey, the Niners just made over $500 million in that sale of the ownership stake. Go spend a little bit more money and get some reassurance on the defensive line and get some reassurance at safety. Do a little something, a little bit more to make me feel a little bit more comfortable about this team moving into the summer.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Like, they need to make a move. Whether because I just can't put all the marbles in the rookie basket. Whether it's signing someone, a risk reward type guy that was cut, or going out and trading, doing one of John Lynch's famous third round picks or something, and pulling a defensive tackle or a really good cornerback, even a safety, something like that. I think that would lock us in for sure. I mean, I love our front office. I love our core guys. They're dogs. It's just we need role players, man. And I understand. They're just unknown. I mean, Michael Williams could be the next Alden Smith, but I mean, we've seen our front office guys also draft Solomon Thomas. You know what I mean? So I mean, we just got to see. We won't really know until preseason. So
yep,
looking forward to the season.
Well, before I let you go, let me get your letter grade. If you had to give this offseason a letter grade, what would you give it? How do you feel?
In terms of
everything,
if we're just rebuilding, retooling, doing that whole thing, I'll give it a B minus. I'd give it a solid, a B minus, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, hey, I appreciate the phone call. Strong take, strong call, and call again soon when we go live, man.
All right, for sure. Hey, just want to let everyone know, join the Patreon, man. It's dope, man. Honestly, the giveaways, the conversations, we have some good conversations with some good Niner fans in there, man. Join it. I encourage you all to.
I appreciate that. Thank you, man. Have a good weekend.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All righty. You guys heard the man. Join the damn Patreon. Patreon.com/keepingthefaith. Go sign up and be a Patreon member. You'll get a ton of behind the scenes stuff, exclusive content that you won't get here on YouTube. and you'll get a lot of different ways to connect. We have a fun chat in there where we talk about all kinds of Niner stuff. I'm going to have a fantasy football league going. And again, we do monthly giveaways for Patreon members. We do a raffle, and whoever gets selected out of the hat gets that monthly prize. And we did the giveaway this month. David Culper in Patreon won this Candlestick Park farewell season patch. So if you guys want to be a part of what we got going over there, go check out patreon.com/keeping the faith. I gotta start promoting that thing more. I haven't been doing a good job of that. So sorry if you've heard me mention it a few times, but we've only got a handful of members over there, and we want to keep it growing, keep it moving. So if anyone else wants to call in, and I see some people in the chat asking how they can call in, check the number down below in the ticker and the description box. 415-498-0946 is your faithful phone line call-in number. I want to hear from, I'm going to put out a challenge. I want to hear from someone who has not called this show before. I've actually seen quite a few brand new names to the chat that I've never seen before, so I appreciate you guys for tuning in for the first time, or at least participating in the chat for the first time. But I'm putting out a challenge. I want someone to call in who's never called in and talked to me before. I want a fresh voice. I want to hear what your thoughts are on this 49ers offseason. What letter grade would you give it? Given the fact that they got these contracts done ahead of time, before training camp, given the fact that they have a ton of rookies on their defensive line, they have holes on the defense, you have concerns about the offensive line, you have concerns about Christian McCaffrey staying healthy, or Brock Purdy, maybe you think Kyle Shanahan should be on the hot seat. What are your thoughts on this 49ers offseason as a whole, now that for the most part, all the big moves are done? Are you feeling good about this team heading into 2025, or do you still have some questions like myself and a lot of other 49ers fans do? 415-498-0946 is your faithful phone line call-in number, and I want to hear from someone who has not called this show before. I think it'd be fun. I think it would be cool. And I think that we've had some really, really strong calls tonight. CG Ruthless, Fly Esai, Courtney. We've had some very, very good phone calls this evening. But I want to hear from someone who has not called this show yet. I'm putting out a challenge right here, right now on Keeping the Faith. JD is putting out a challenge. Somebody who has not called in before. Maybe you're a first-time viewer. You're just discovering the channel for the first time here tonight. Call the show. Let's see. All right, we go out to the 805 caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, my name's Gabe. I'm calling from San Luis Obispo, California.
Gabe, all right. I think you are a brand new caller to the show. You answered the challenge, my man. So first off, hope you're having a great Memorial Day weekend. But what are your thoughts on this 49ers offseason? How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm super excited. I'm pretty optimistic about this season that's coming up.
What has you optimistic? What do you like that the Niners have done? What makes you what has you feeling good as we approach the start of the season?
Well, for one, I think that our defense is going to be top 10 because Robert Saleh is going to know where to position the players, and he's going to know how to adjust. And I think stopping the run is going to be very key.
And the guys that they drafted, CJ West, Alfred Collins, those guys can stop the run. And you see the vision. Mykel Williams, very, very good at setting the edge and stopping the run. And Robert Saleh is going to come in here and he's going to emphasize that. So yeah, I would agree with you there that at the very least, I would say the run defense is going to be improved. Is there anything that you have concerns about going into this year, or things that you want to see this team improve on before the start of the season?
I would say health is my main concern, especially for the rookies, since they have to adjust to a more physical play style. One rookie I'm really looking forward to seeing is Marquez Siegel, because I think he's going to be like Jimmy Ward. He's very similar.
and not a lot of people are talking about Siegel. I think he's going to be an under the radar player that potentially could flash in the preseason, and then everyone's going to be talking about him. He could be the guy this preseason that stands out and makes a ton of plays. And all of a sudden, Niner fans are hyping up Marquise Siegel, and he was the fastest safety at the combine, and he's going to come into a defense where he could potentially have a role early on, given the fact that Malik Mustafa is going to be out. Jair Brown's position is not set in stone, and so yeah, I don't disagree with you there.
I think one thing that can improve our defense once Malik Mustafa comes back, I feel like Saleh, if he gets creative, he could use like 3 box safeties to kind of mitigate the loss of Dre Greenlaw. And I feel like he could use 3 safeties on the field and mix up the different looks.
Yeah, I could see that as well, and that's the beauty of bringing back Robert Saleh is it's a breath of fresh air while it's also a familiar face. Like it's going to be different than what the Niners have done in the last couple of years, and at the same time, it's Robert Saleh. It's a guy we all know and love, and so I think Niner fans are going to be very excited about this defense, and I think it's going to be a very fun thing to watch is how this defense develops, how these young players come along, and just seeing Robert Saleh on the sidelines, giving this team energy, hyping them up. We know that Fred Warner and the boys missed Robert Saleh's energy on the sidelines, and so I think that the Saleh impact, the Saleh effect is going to be absolutely huge on this season.
Definitely.
Well, hey, Gabe, man, I appreciate the call. Thank you for answering the challenge and calling in for the first time. Don't be a stranger, man. Call back next time.
Hey, one more thing.
Sure.
Everybody like and subscribe. This channel is very great. I just discovered it not too long ago, and I'm really satisfied with the opinions, and I like how you do a good job.
I appreciate that, Gabe, man. You just made my day, man. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your weekend, my friend.
Thank you, you too.
All right. Shout out Gabe for calling in. That was cool. That made me feel good. Appreciate you, Gabe, man. That was awesome. I needed that. Thank you. I see a bunch of new faces in the chat. This is awesome. This has been a very, very productive show tonight. Hit on a ton of topics, taking a lot of good phone calls tonight. Good stream. And I'll be doing some more live streams, moving forward, especially the closer we get to the year. So don't fret there. But it's been a good one. And again, I hope everyone's having a great weekend, man. It's a holiday weekend. I know most people are off on Monday. I am. So I'm just relaxing. And I decided, you know what? I haven't been live in a while. Let me go live. Let me talk to my fellow faithful. And let's talk some 49er football, man. I can't go long without talking any Niner football. And so I wanted to go live and chop it up with you guys. But let me send it out to the phones one more time. The phone lines are open, so if anyone else wants to call in, now's your shot. 415-498-0946. And in addition to the Patreon, if you guys want to help support the channel, we do take CashApp and Venmo. That information is down below in the ticker and the description box. It's JD49TD, as in touchdown. So JD49TD on Cash App and Venmo. And you can also check out the Patreon for bonus content, giveaways, and more. If you enjoy this show and enjoy what we do over here on Keeping the Faith, where the faithful matter. And that's why I do this, because I'm a member of the faithful, just like you guys. And I love talking Niners, and I love talking to Niners fans, and that's why I do this. I love doing this, and I love talking to you guys. And nights like this, where we take a lot of good phone calls and we have some good discussion, that's why I do it, man. This is awesome. This is cool. So the phone lines are open. I'm going to take one more call, and then we can wrap it up for the evening. I'll let you guys get back to your families, get back to your holiday fun, your weekend fun. I know Memorial Day isn't necessarily like a celebratory thing. We're honoring those that have fallen, and shout out to all those that have served in the armed forces. I appreciate your sacrifice and what you've done, and especially those that lost their lives in the line of duty. So I'm not trying to make this like a happy holiday sort of thing, but I appreciate what the armed forces have done for all of us here. And we should go and relax and have a good weekend because that's what they fought for. And so let's take one more call before we go ahead and wrap up the show tonight. 415-498-0946 is your call-in number. How do you feel about the 49ers offseason? How do you feel about the Brock Purdy deal? Fred Warner's locked up. George Kittle isn't going anywhere. Robert Saleh's back in the fold. How do you feel knowing that the 49ers still have the third most cap space in the NFL and haven't done much with it? What are we doing here? Are they going to make any moves post June 1st and help improve this roster? Are there any names out there that you could have your eye on for the 49ers to add post June 1? Let me know your thoughts, Faithful. I'm going to take one more call before we wrap this thing up. Let's see what we have going on in the chat. I see Mr. Joe in the chat. 805 Blackbeard in the chat. The Smitty in the chat. I see Sparrow. That's shout out Sparrow, longtime viewer. Shout out Keys. I'm seeing a lot of new names. A lot of new names in the chat tonight as well. That's awesome. That's very, very cool to see. I'm glad you guys are finding the channel, and thank you so much for participating. That's why we do it, That's why we do it. I want to reach as many Niners fans as we can through this platform and talk about the thing we love the most, and that's the red and gold, man. That's the red and gold. So I don't know if we're going to get another phone call, but I'll give it another, 30 seconds or so. If we don't get a phone call, then I'll go ahead and wrap things up. But look, I'm excited, man. Like, yeah, there's a lot of questions, but there's also a lot of things that you can look forward to. I can't wait to see what Ricky Pearsall does this season as an encore. I can't wait to see those rookies on the defensive line. CJ West, Alfred Collins, Mykel Williams. I can't wait to see how Robert Saleh has evolved his scheme, because he's talked about it. It's not the same as it was when he was here before. I can't wait to see what Robert Saleh has up his sleeve for this 2025 season. I can't wait to see a healthy Christian McCaffrey. Of course, George Kittle's my guy. Everyone knows that. And so I'm always excited to watch him play, especially now that he's got his new contract and he is the NFL's highest paid tight end yet again. And Brock Purdy. How is Brock Purdy going to rebound from last year's down season? Now that he's gotten his money, maybe he won't be pressing so much like he was a year ago. Maybe he'll let things come to him more naturally, and he won't be pressing, and he won't be trying to make a big play when nothing is there. Maybe we'll get to see the Brock Purdy of old, who was relaxed and in control of this offense like we have seen many times before. There's a lot to look forward to this offseason, or this season, rather. And I can't wait. I can't wait, guys. But it doesn't look like we're going to get another call. Oh! Speak of the devil, right as I'm about to hang up. All right, we go out to the 415 caller. You're on the air with JD. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up, JD? My name is Keith, longtime San Francisco Niner fan. It's the first day I've gotten, access to your show. Of course, I hit that like and subscribe button.
Awesome, Keys. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. And I saw you in the chat. So thank you for checking out the channel, and I hope you like it. And thanks for calling in, man. What's on your mind? How are you feeling?
Man, I love your show, bro. It's a great show. I'm gonna definitely be listening all the time now. I just what's on my mind is I like what the Niners did. I'm just a little bit worried about the depth. I think we need to add a couple of veteran bargain free agents that could actually start for us and give us depth at linebacker, cornerback, maybe an edge rusher. I'm just a little worried because, one injury, our linebackers were pretty bad last year, So, I don't know, maybe a Jermaine Pratt, C.J. Mosley. I don't know. What do you think?
C.J. Mosley's a very interesting name. he's had some very, very productive years in the league. He played under Saleh. He knows the scheme. He knows what Saleh is all about. And I was surprised that they didn't go after him. I kind of thought maybe that they would. I thought it would be a natural fit. But then again, Saleh knows him, and Saleh knows, how his health is and where his head's at and that sort of thing. So maybe there's a reason that the Niners didn't go after a CJ Mosley. But I like where your head's at. I like that idea because D Winters, we don't know, and they could have played D Winters a ton last year with Dre Greenlaw out, but they didn't. They played Devondre Campbell, and that makes me wonder why. Why didn't they give more snaps to D Winters? And why did they go and draft Nick Martin? They must not really feel very great about D Winters. And so are they going to rely on Nick Martin, who is a very undersized linebacker opposite Fred Warner this year? Or maybe they go after a veteran like a CJ Mosley?
No, 100%, brother. I just, I want the Niners to do it, man. I want to get, back, get the, number 6. But I'm just, like I said, I like the players they drafted, but I'm just like, man, if Fred Warner gets hurt, we're toast. If like cornerback, besides Lenore, I mean, Renardo Green did pretty good last year, but no, I mean, she's still like a second-year player. You really don't know what you're going to get. And, yeah, man, I mean, gosh, not drafting an offensive tackle. And now we got the bargain bin, like, tackles that nobody wants. I mean, I was excited kind of when we got DJ Humphries because I thought that he was like a legit, 9-year starter, whatever, made one Pro Bowl. Like, he would have been cool. But now with Dillard and, like, these guys are kind of busts, So, man, McKivitz or Trent Williams, that's – yeah.
Yeah, and you made a great point about Fred Warner. I mean, everyone just kind of relies on Fred Warner and thinks he's going to be there week in, week out, like because that's what he's done. He's only missed one game his whole career, so everyone just kind of goes, "Oh, we got Fred Warner, we're fine." But everyone forgets Fred Warner played through a fractured ankle all of last season because we had nobody else. So
exactly,
you're absolutely right. They have to do something. I want to see them do something there. I like where your head's at.
Yeah, no, listen, D. Winters, Nick Martin, they're fast linebackers, but they're undersized. So, like, I hope everything goes well, JD, but like I said, I think before training camp opens, I'm hoping, and I think they will, add at least one or two of these players. Gabe Davis, Amari Cooper, what do you call it, C.J. Mosley, Jermaine Pratt, maybe a Asante Samuel, maybe a DJ Humphries. I just think those players right there can definitely help us.
Yeah, I don't disagree. They've shown interest in Gabe Davis. The Amari Cooper noise has been there, even though they haven't met with him. But everyone's been saying don't sleep on Amari Cooper, and so yeah, I could see the team making a move for a veteran post June 1st. And I'm excited, man. I want to see what they do. I want to see Jed spend a little more of that, $500 million he just got.
I'm on board with you on that one, brother. Just one last thing. Do you have like a set time you come on, or?
I'll be the first to tell you, I've been extremely inconsistent with the live streams. I've been putting out more videos lately than anything, but the live streams will be more consistent, especially the closer we get to training camp, and I will put out like a dedicated schedule, and so you guys will know exactly when I'm going to go live and whatnot. But I'll look into that here, and maybe I'll set something up here very soon and let you all know. Just make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have that notification bell checked so you don't miss a stream.
All right, I appreciate it, JD. Just thanks for your time, and I wish you nothing but the best, brother. Peace and blessings.
Appreciate you, man. Have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Shout out Keys for calling in, man. We had a few first-time callers tonight. Very cool. Very cool. Well, I had a good time tonight. How do you guys feel? I had a good time tonight, man. It makes me want to go live tomorrow. You know what I mean? Makes me want to, do this more often. So as long as we get this kind of participation, and as long as there is plenty to talk about, and we all know with the 49ers, it's never boring. I'm down to do more of these lives, man. I like he said, he wanted to know, when do I go live? That's on me. So I apologize to you guys who've been looking forward to these live streams. I haven't been very consistent. I've been putting out more videos than anything. But like I said, the closer we get to training camp, the closer we get to the season, things will be a lot more clear, a lot more consistent, and I will be going live on a regular basis, especially once we get the games going and whatnot. So with that, I appreciate everyone for tuning in, man. Make sure you like and subscribe, and again, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/keepingthefaith. Sign up for the Patreon. Become a member. We have 2 membership plans. One's like $5.99 a month, and one is $9.99 a month. And you get a ton of behind-the-scenes content, different ways to interact with me. You'll get entry into a fantasy football league that is exclusive to Patreon members, and you'll also be entered into monthly giveaway raffles. We actually just did our second monthly giveaway raffle today, and the winner won this farewell candlestick patch. The month prior, our very first giveaway raffle, I gave out one of these Keeping the Faith snapback trucker hats. Check out the Patreon, guys, and if that's not your thing, and you just want to show a little bit of appreciation another way, I do take CashApp, I do take Venmo, JD49TD. All that info is down below in the ticker and the description box. I'm not trying to pester you guys about the Patreon or donating or anything like that. I just haven't done a good job of promoting the Patreon, and we've been kind of sitting stagnant over there on the Patreon, and my members want to see that thing grow, man. If you get over there, I promise you'll have a good time. So check it out. With that, let's go ahead and wrap up the show for this evening. Shout out to everyone who's watched tonight. Shout out to everybody who's called. I appreciate all of you, and I will be live again very, very soon. As always, man, this is JD. It's Keeping the Faith, and let's go Niners, man. Let's go.